Hi guys, hello everyone. My name is Onyinye Favor and you're welcome once again to the Repositioning Podcast. Guys, if you're just joining us for the first time, please don't forget to click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get notified when a video drops. If you've been watching for a long time and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Huh? All right, let's get right into what we have today. Today we are talking about accepting criticism. It is not easy to accept criticism. First of all, what is criticism? It's basically feedback, but sometimes feedbacks are come in a negative form for something you've done or something you've been doing or whatever the case might be. So, how do you learn to accept criticism? The first thing you have to do is to stop your first reaction. The reason you're stopping your first reaction is because sometimes, or most times, 90% of the time, when you get criticism, your first reaction is to lash back at that person, to defend yourself, to become defensive because you believe that you're in the right, because you believe that you're doing the right thing. I mean, not everybody, but some people don't just go ahead to do things and think that they're doing the wrong thing. It is sometimes without the awareness, without being intentional, unintentionally doing the wrong thing. So when you give that criticism, when you give that feedback, their automatic reaction at that moment is to get defensive, to lash back at you and tell you how you are wrong and they are right. So the first step is stop that first reaction. Hold on a bit, cool off, take a deep breath. If it's in writing, don't type it immediately as it hot. Don't do that. Give yourself a little bit of pause before you talk to that person. Number two is to turn the negative to positive. Now, in our everyday life, a good way to have a good approach to the things that are happening around us is by turning the negative to the positives. For instance, you experience things like being fired from a job. Now, instead of looking at it as an opportunity for you to be depressed, sad, and all of that, you look at it like an opportunity for you to grow, rediscover your purpose, and even become more functional so that when you get the next job, you'll be more valuable than you were in the last one. Whatever the situation is, you're feeling sick. You see it as a moment to recuperate, as a moment to get yourself back, get yourself on track, rest a bit, maybe because you've been working too hard. It's not a moment to become sad and then, oh, I'm feeling sick. I know it's a painful experience, sometimes because sometimes it is illnesses that come with so much pain, but your mindset is all that matters. So yeah, turn the same thing to negative, turning your negatives to positive when it comes to criticism. Of course, most of the time when this criticism comes, it is coming in a negative form. So look at it as a positive way. For instance, somebody criticizes you and say, you're always talking, 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 talking. I'm not even interested in how you're even talking, or your talks are really boring, or things like that. Now, when you want to take that as a feedback of you need to improve or become more creative with the way you talk. That's turning your negatives into positive, and you begin to channel your energy towards making the correction. So yeah, turn your negatives to the positive. When they come in with negative reaction, especially with a wrong choice of words, turn it to positive. The third thing is to thank the critic. This is hard. Somebody is lashing at you and you want me to tell you thank you. You are lashing at me and you want me to tell you thank you. It is hard, but it is like pouring cold water on hot coals. You are taking that person, you're catching that person off guard. The person finished talking and you just calmly say, thank you, I appreciate the criticism, I appreciate the feedback. I mean, the person was not ready for that. The person was ready for, it is not true. That's not who I am. All those things. But what he gets, what she gets, it's a thank you. It will surely turn the table round because now instead of becoming enemies, for some reason you might even view the friendship. I mean, it's not always the case, but definitely what you will do is you're going to change the perspective of that person. And if he or she is going to the next person to criticize the person, they'll be more calmer in their approach to offer that criticism. Yeah, that's it about thanking the critic. Now, number four, finally, is for you to learn from that criticism. Because what is the essence of taking criticism if you're not going to learn from it? No matter how terrible a criticism is, there's always like an ounce of truth in it. There's always an ounce of honesty in it. There's an ounce of room for improvement. So learn from that criticism. Don't just let it go because you're offended with the delivery of the criticism. Learn from it. Take corrections. Actually try to improve. So yeah, that's it about accepting criticism. And a recap is, number one thing we talked about is stop your first reaction. Automatically, your first reaction is going to be negative, it's going to be lashing back, it's going to be shouting. Stop yourself from making that reaction. Pause a bit, cool off a bit before you go back to talk. And number two thing I talked about, making sure to turn the negative to positive. It's always the best for you, especially if what the person is saying is the truth. The third thing is to thank the critic. What this does is it douses the effect of that negativism the person has used to deliver the message. It douses it. It's like pouring cold water on hot coals. So thank the critic, and finally for you to actually learn from the criticism. Improve. Don't just hear and say thank you and go back. Actually improve. Yeah. That's it about this episode, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so you get notified when a video drops. Bye.